today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
How much have you spent on cocaine in your life?
Probably close to 200 grand.
I am in total shock.
A drug-addicted model.
So you've been clean since November?
Yes, it's November.
You told us you did a line in your car on February 6th.
And a mother.
Why have you been trying to control what I talked to him about?
Denying her son's problem.
He's doing steroids.
Who said that?
Did he or did he not tell you that?
He did tell me that he's using steroids.
He's admitted to it. My parents know.
I'm worried.
No, you haven't worried. You know it.
I never said I was on steroids. That's not why I'm here. I'll get up and leave right now.
Do whatever you want to do. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
In 5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Go, Dr. Phil.
How you doing? How you doing, guys? All right, check out Jamie. He's 29, clearly into health and fitness. He has traveled the globe as a model showing off those abs. Sounds like a pretty good life. But behind all the glitz and glamour lies a big secret that Jamie does not want to discuss today. He just does not. It's a secret that is tearing his family apart. Now, Jamie's brother Anthony and his wife Janet wrote to me saying, it's crucial that Jamie tells me the truth today because if not, they fear he won't live to see 30. Now, Jamie's mom Joey and dad Steve act like they aren't really sure what's going on. But they are able to open their wallets anytime Jamie needs help. So what is this dark secret? Jamie admits to some cocaine and ecstasy use, but he says he's got it under control now. But there's more going on behind the scenes with this perfect-looking family. You see, Mom has just flat out said there are some things she does not want us discussing today. Now, Jamie's family is backstage. They have not been listening to anything I have said so far. We're going to meet them in a bit. And so you guys here and at home are the only ones that know what I know. The family, they, as I say, they haven't heard any of this. Mom doesn't know that I am on to her. So first thing I'm going to do is talk to Jamie alone. And I can tell you, he is used to coming out and flashing a big smile and kind of conning everybody and kind of letting out just a little bit to buy some credibility. And we're going to do that for a minute, and we're going to see what's going on. And I intend for this to be a changing day in this young man's life, easy or hard. Things are about to get very real. Let's take a look at how Jamie describes himself.
I've always wanted to be the entertainer. My love for music started when I was about 6 years old. I was in a band at 15 years old with everyone else was 26. I was the lead front man. Everyone that has heard me sing, they go, like, why aren't you on the radio? And the last thing that I recorded was 3 years ago, and the song is called Bring Yourself to Life, and you can get it on iTunes. I started modeling when I was 21 years old. I was modeling around a lot of different areas. I was going to New York City, to LA, Miami, France, to Rome. I was known as the internet king of modeling. My name just started spreading everywhere. Who's this new guy? And it was really, really flattering. I was making a great amount of money, but that money vanished with my addiction. In my early 20s, when I was in New York, I was doing cocaine every day. And if I missed a day, I would make up for it. But now, it's been 20 days since I've had any alcohol, 3 months since I've done cocaine. I don't want to go down the wrong path and use drugs ever again.
Jamie, it's good to meet you.
It's good to meet you, too.
You say you were the internet king of modeling. at this time. What does that mean?
I was on like every blog there was, specifically having to do with modeling, and when I first started. So.
Yeah. And you say that this was lucrative. I mean, you were making a lot of money doing this, right?
Yeah, I was doing pretty well.
You've been to Europe. You've been all over the United States. You
Yes.
were here in L.A. for a while modeling, right?
I lived in L.A. In 2009 for a while.
And what were you doing out here, modeling?
Yeah, I was more of the fashion industry I was trying to get involved with, because that was what was suggested for me to do at the time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really a healthy choice because of all the weight that they wanted me to lose and all the muscle they wanted me to get rid of.
Yeah, get rid of muscle.
Yeah.
So they wanted you more slim, slender?
Yes, to fit into certain, sample sizes and stuff like that.
And you've done fitness modeling, right?
Yes.
As well as fashion modeling.
Yes.
And there's a difference, right?
Big difference.
Fitness modeling, you can have the muscles, you can have all of that.
You can eat food.
Yeah. Okay.
You can actually eat food and, work out and enjoy your life.
And you design like workout plans, meal plans, videos for clients online?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you said you were out here, they were wanting you to lose weight. Like, what do you weigh now?
Right now, I'm just under 6 feet tall. I weigh 213.
Yeah. And they were wanting you down to like 165?
They didn't really have a specific weight. They just wanted me to fit certain sizes. And for me to fit those sizes, I had to get down to about 165.
And how were they wanting you to do this? Were they pushing drugs at you?
Yeah.
That's the truth of the matter, right?
Indirectly, yeah. I mean, because a lot of them do it themselves. And if you hang out with them, it's there.
So you said that you had agents in New York that fed you cocaine, that were trying to get you into a certain...
Yes, sir.
Into a certain mode. So why are you here today? Why do you think you're here today?
I'm here today because it turned into a really bad problem. What turned out to be, it started off to be a little bit, fun to do the drugs and all that stuff and to drink, but it got really dark. And it turned into a very, very bad situation where my body started to depend on it. And I'm here because now, later on, it turned into such a problem where I need help. I need help to make sure that it's prevented in the future. I don't want to lose my relationship with my family, my girlfriend, and I don't want to die.
Yeah, so how is your relationship with your family?
My relationship, it's very good, actually, especially with my parents. We're very, very, very close. So,
yeah. Everybody has a strategy. And I don't mean just today. I've always said everybody has an attitude of approach in life. We all have a way of being in this world. And then everything we approach with a certain strategy. When you go to the gym, you approach it with a mindset, right? And what's your mindset in approaching being here today with me? You ever watched this show before?
Yes.
How many times?
Quite a few times. Especially before coming on the show, I watched a handful of episodes. I was like, what am I in for?
Yeah, and what did you decide?
I don't really quite know, to be honest with you. All I know is that I came here with a tunnel vision of wanting help.
My attitude of approach to these things, and I have one, I believe in a defined product. I don't know about you and your business. I believe in a defined product, and my attitude of approach is to help people get out of their own way.
Yeah.
Because I think people get in their own way a lot.
Oh, yeah, I do that.
And I try to cut through people lying to themselves. I try to cut through people lying to each other. I try to cut through people sabotaging each other even when they don't mean to. Now, you say that at this point, you're off of the drugs, right?
Yes.
You say you've been clean for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I had a relapse. I believe it was in November with cocaine. And I've been clean from drinking for the 2 weeks. So hopefully I'm on a good path currently.
So you've been clean from cocaine since November?
Yes, since November.
Yeah. Because This is where this starts, because I want to know.
Sure.
Because you told us you did a line of cocaine in your car on February 6th.
On February 6th.
Yeah. And then in your tape piece, you said it had been 3 months. Then in your pre-interview, you said it had been 2 weeks.
From being clean from drinking. Because I went on a drinking binge before I left. Where I was previously
You
living.
said you did a line of that you did a line of cocaine in your car, specifically in your car, on February 6th.
I didn't.
And now
I
you're
never,
saying
I
November.
Never, no, I never said that.
You didn't say that?
No, I didn't say that.
So we misunderstood that?
I said I did lines of coke in my car, and I've done them in my car.
Oh, no, you said that. You said you did them on your steering wheel. You
did
them in your car.
I think someone misunderstood something, so.
Okay. Let's take a break. Up next, Jamie's family says he hasn't been honest with them about his past. Well, is he ready to get honest and come completely clean about everything here? Are you?
Yes.
No holds barred, nothing off limits.
I'm ready.
Well, we're going to find out after the break. Have you manipulated your parents?
Absolutely.
The son you've presented to them is a fraud.
Yes.
And later, why have you been trying to control what I talked to him about?
I'll get up and leave right now.
Do whatever you want to do.
Sure.
Thursday on an all-new Dr. Phil. Her husband was having an affair when he was murdered.
He didn't die fighting for me. He died fighting for her.
In a Dr. Phil exclusive, the wife and the mistress come face to face.
Your marriage did not end because of me. Stop nailing me about everything. I'm not nailing you. Oh, you are.
You had an affair with her husband, but you seem highly offended by this whole thing.
All new Dr. Phil. Thursday.
My guest, Jamie, is a model, a musician, and very into health and fitness. However, for the last 10 years, Jamie says he struggled with drugs and alcohol and controlling his anger. Jamie says he's been sober for 3 weeks, but Jamie's family is concerned that Jamie's life is still in danger. Now, Jamie's parents, Joey and Steve, say Jamie hasn't always been forthcoming about his drug use, but they say they are finally ready for the truth. Take a look.
Jamie has not been honest with us about his drug use in no way, shape, or form. Talking about it to Jamie, it's like the 300-pound elephant in the room. It's a subject you just didn't bring up. It's a subject that hopefully you thought it would go away, but it never did.
I asked Jamie about his drinking and drug use when I have an opportunity and if I feel I need to ask him. Over the last year, he's not around as much for me to know. And I have to say, he sounds better.
We saw signs of addiction in Jamie, I would say probably around 2021 when he started abusing alcohol. Jamie was a happy drunk, but now Jamie is a bad drunk. Jamie has gotten violent sometimes towards me. When he gets drunk, he'll swear at you, tell me to go myself. It's very, very hurtful. Jamie has never apologized for what he said to us when he's been drinking. You have to let it go. I take that from him because I love him.
Steve and I found out about Jamie's drug use a few years ago.
The drug use, I think he wound up in the hospital one time because he wasn't feeling well. And I guess he had to tell the doctor then what he was taking. And that's basically when we found out he was taking a lot of things.
My love for Jamie is huge. It is over the moon, and it is back. It's hard to see him like this, but he's doing great.
I am very scared for Jamie. I'm very scared for him.
They can't even match the music. They can't even rap, they're just black producing. Now they wanna crack the new shit. They just wanna act, they done bath the new kids. They can't even match the music. They can't even rap, they're just black producing. They just wanna crack the new shit. They just wanna act, they done bath the new kids. Sorry big man, sorry big man. With your big life and your kick man. Sorry big man, sorry big man. With your big life and your whip man. Sorry big man.
Okay, I'm glad you guys are here. Tell me, we've been have y'all been listening to my conversation with Jamie so far?
Yes, we have.
We have.
We were talking about attitude of approach, strategy of being here. Tell me what yours is for being here today.
Well, the reason why I am here is to get help for Jamie. This came about through my son, Anthony, and I never thought of this aspect of coming here, and I thought it was a great idea.
And Joey, how about you? What's your strategy in being here? What's your goal? Strategy for getting it and the goal.
Well, my goal, our goal, mine, of course, specifically for Jamie, is to be able to have his life back, to be able to be free of the addictions that he has had, and to get him on the right path, to get the help that he needs.
Have you manipulated your parents with half-truths and sheltered them from reality?
Absolutely.
So the fact is, the son you've presented to them is a fraud.
For the most part, yes. Mm-hmm.
And your mother would lay down in front of a freight train to protect you.
Yes, she would.
And you know that. Mm-hmm. And you've used that devotion and dedication to manipulate her. You've used that love against her by lying to her by affirmative misstatements and lies of omission. True?
True.
Are you surprised to hear that?
No. To a certain degree, no. I think a lot of probably what I don't know, I'm almost positive I will be very surprised about.
You have no idea. Joey and Steve say they're ready to know the entire truth on Jamie's history with drugs. Before we get into that, I want to bring out Jamie's brother, Anthony, and his wife, Janet. Now, Janet is the one who actually contacted the show because she and Anthony were concerned about Jamie and how his parents are handling the situation. Take a look.
Right now, I'm watching my little brother, Jamie, essentially kill himself, and my parents always end up rewarding him. When I was in 6th grade, Jamie was in 1st, and Jamie had punched a kid in the nose. Looking back, that was the point in time my parents started to enable Jamie. They were making excuses for his behavior. And so I think he learned very young that he didn't have consequences, and he could get away with things.
I think that Jamie has been extremely fortunate in his life. He has not had to support himself financially. He has relied on his family and his friends and girlfriends to support him.
My brother hasn't had a job for longer than a few months since he was a teenager. My parents pay for Jamie's car. I believe my parents give Jamie money for rent. My parents give him money for gas. By continuing to financially support Jamie and make excuses for Jamie, they're enabling his use of drugs. I have seen my mom defend Jamie when I believe she knows he's wrong. My dad's very worried about Jamie. He wants him to get help, but I feel he's stuck because it's difficult for him when my mom does continue to stick up for Jamie.
My wife would lie down in traffic for any one of her kids. She's like a lioness. If you corner her or corner one of her kids, I feel sorry for you.
I want his parents to learn how to help Jamie in the right ways. And if it means they need to take a pause on supporting him in any way, that's what needs to happen.
Okay, I'm glad you guys are here. You wrote the letter.
I did.
But when you wrote the letter, you said, I'm writing for us. Did you two sit down and write it together?
Yeah. Yes.
What moved you to write this letter?
Over Christmas, we were with Jamie for quite some time, and we saw his ups and downs. We saw it wasn't getting better, and Janet watches your show quite often, and so we were sitting down one day, and we saw some of the outcomes of the show and saw how everybody was talking through what needed to be talked about, and we thought it was a good forum, so we reached out, and here we are.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you concerned? Are you concerned about yourself? Are you afraid that you're going to spin out of control?
I'm here to prevent that from happening. That's why I am concerned.
It's unbelievable. It's shocking.
I'm in total shock.
You guys wanted honesty. There it is.
You're way worse off than I thought you were.
Friday on an all-new Dr. Phil.
It is one of the most twisted and bizarre love deceptions we have ever covered on this show.
She met her dream man online.
Hunter told me he loved me over the phone.
This clearly was romantic.
Yeah, I shared everything with him. I never imagined that he was talking to another girl.
I first met Hiram over Twitter. He saw my picture and he thought I was beautiful. He told me he loves me and he made me feel special.
In love with the same man. But
you're not the only ones.
7 girls.
The man you had feelings for, the man who you thought was Hiram, is here.
And a surprising twist.
What did you think when you found out your identity had been stolen?
Now,
I had never seen a catfish like this one.
The real person behind the deception.
Did you fall in love with any of these girls?
The co-eds and the catfish.
They all say they're afraid of you.
With a shocking revelation.
Are y'all ready to meet the person behind this whole thing?
You won't believe. That's Friday, only on Dr. Phil.
How much have you spent on cocaine in your life, would you guess?
Probably in the past 10 years, anywhere probably close to 200 grand.
You've done cocaine, you've done ecstasy, you've done mushrooms, you've done acid, you've abused alcohol. You've been in the hospital twice.
Yes.
Jamie's been very honest about his drug use with us, but it's time for his family to finally hear just how bad this drug use has been. Let's take a look.
Drugs and alcohol became a big problem for me. I was 19 when I started using ecstasy. I would end up doing so many, like 10 to 20 a night. When I was 21 years old, I started doing fitness modeling. Influential people thought that I should start fashion modeling. My weight was 205 at the time. They wanted me at 170. To achieve that weight, I was introduced to a drug called cocaine. And I got hooked. I was averaging about 5 to 6 grams a day. You know those tampon applicators? Well, I'd use the big end because it can get so much more of a hit. I mean, I could blow 1 bag in 1 snort. And I would also drink to level myself out. So I would do 3 huge lines of cocaine, and then I would drink a half a fifth a bottle of vodka and within a couple swigs. One time I was drinking, doing cocaine, taking ecstasy, eating mushrooms, and I did acid that same day. On one of my darkest days, I was Skyping with my girlfriend, Robin. That was the day that I went through an ounce of cocaine. I did coke in my car, driving to go pick up more, and I would do it off my steering wheel. I would drive with a straw in the bag and drive like this. I did coke and drove all the time. All the time. I have easily spent $200,000 since I started doing cocaine. My drug use doesn't have positive or negative triggers. It could be a good day, and I want to celebrate that by using, or it could be a bad, very emotional day, and it makes me want to use too. Even if I'm bored, I'll do cocaine. I've had people tell me that I've partied with that this guy can do more coke than anybody you've ever met in your life.
Mom, Dad, what's your reaction to that? Those are his words, not mine.
I'm shocked.
It's unbelievable. It's shocking.
I'm shocked. I almost have no words. I am in total shock.
I guess we're just lucky that he's made it this far.
He kind of talks about it now like he's got it turned around. It's just a matter of keeping it on the up and up. That's right?
Yes, sir.
And you believe that? Because you got 2 weeks, right?
Yes. A little over 2 weeks now. So.
Do you really believe that?
I do. I'm in such a good area, I'm in such a good spot. I'm in a quiet area, not around anything. Finally got a good job, and along with what I'm doing. And I'm starting to feel like myself, and I want to keep it that way.
Yeah. You're way worse off than I thought you were. If you've convinced yourself of that.
I'm convinced I'm off to a good start.
Wow. What do you guys think?
I mean, you know, we saw Jamie. We had no idea half of what we've just now seen to be the case. I mean, we were worried about him before seeing that, so it's really troublesome. I mean, it's really troublesome.
You guys wanted honesty. There it is.
Yes.
I know that Jamie needs help. I don't feel that. I mean, I understand him saying that he's in a good spot right now where he feels like this is a time where he can go maybe to have that start and get the help that you need. But there's no way that you don't need a lot of help. With everything that you've been through, there's no way. This is over the moon, what you've been through with what we've just been looking at today.
I mean,
you know, it's a little hard to figure out how to tell them what they just heard to their face. It's difficult, especially, you know, to my brother, to Janet. I mean, it's a little it makes me a little nervous to be able to even say half of what I just said to their face, and it's also embarrassing.
Well, coming up, Anthony says he confronted his mom about giving Jamie money and even told her he believed Jamie was using the money for drugs. What Joey said in response might surprise you. We'll talk about that after the break. You believe that your parents are funding his drug lifestyle.
I need to know what we don't know.
I became friends with Joey Kovar, who was discovered on Real World Hollywood season, and we became best friends. Joey had a lot of demons. Cocaine was his absolute favorite, just like me. I remember one thing that Joey said to me, and I'll never forget it. You know, man, you should look into chilling out with how much you do. And he's no longer with us. My last memory of Joey was the craziest memory of Joey. It's really sad. Leading up to that, he was doing really well, and so was I. Last time, it was a 5-day bender that we put ourselves on. During those days, I did more than Joey did. I did a little bit of ecstasy, Adderall, cocaine. Joey just did the Adderalls and the cocaine, and he had some Xanax to bring him down. He drank heavily. At the end of the 5 days, we brought Joey to the airport. He changed his flight like 3 times to that party with me. And I feel like it's my fault that he stayed, but at the same time, I just appreciate the time that I had with him. I miss him a lot. But I just wanted it to happen to me either, so that's why I'm here.
Well, Joey and Steve say they're concerned for their son Jamie, a model and personal trainer, because they say he has struggled with drugs, alcohol, and has anger issues. Now, Jamie admits that he had a problem with drugs in the past, but he says he's been clean now for a number of weeks and is finally getting his life back on track. However, Jamie's brother Anthony and his sister-in-law Janet say they're just not really buying this because there's even more dimensions to this going on. You know, first off, you believe that your parents are enabling him to the point of actually either directly or indirectly funding his drug lifestyle, correct?
Correct.
Are you two doing that?
Looking at this, yes.
I'm afraid that absolutely it could have been the case. Absolutely. I know when he had his fresh start, I think, you know, there were things we were willing to do. I can't not say that it hasn't crossed my mind, the things that we've worried about that have not known about, but have worried about. You know, you want to help your child. You always want to be there for your children and help them. And in this situation, it's been very difficult to know how to do it, to when to do it, and we've tried to be very mindful of that and careful. But yes, I do.
But
I have
Anthony
worried.
says that he confronted you about that specific thing and said, you know, you're giving him money, sometimes $1,000 a month, just cash. I mean, you do other things too, And you told her that you believe that's going to drugs, and you said, yeah, probably. True?
True. Last week.
Last week?
On the phone.
Yeah, probably. Now, I don't remember wording anything like that. I know it is true that I have shared a few times that I am concerned because, you know, we want to help our son, but we don't want to enable him. And when we have given him money.
But the fact that you're continuing to give him money and he's continuing to spend on the things that you know he's buying that
I don't know he's buying.
That contribute to his way of life. You know that whether it's directly going to it or indirectly going to it, those funds are supporting how he's living his life.
Even if there was a chance.
Well, I agree, but he's playing on our feelings, too, because he'll say he's down. He's really down that day, and she worries so much about him that, you know, he needs money for groceries or something like that, and she'll send it to him.
Right.
He plays on both of you.
Yes,
I realize that. He'll call mom. Yeah. And it's very difficult for them to figure it out.
Between the two of us.
So you're doing it to make yourself feel better?
We're doing it out of concern and of not knowing what to do, what the best thing is to do, because you don't want to get that phone call. And have I been worried that it might be going into drugs?
Why have you been trying to control this process? Why have you been trying to control what I talk to him about?
That's not why I'm here.
Do you want to pretend you didn't have that conversation?
That's not why I'm here. I'll get up and leave right now.
Do whatever you want to do.
Sure.
Wednesday on an all-new Dr. Phil. She survived the Cleveland House of Horrors. Now, Michelle Knight's story comes to the screen.
There are scenes where Taryn is reenacting Michelle being viciously abused.
My mom said, I'm worried about you playing that role.
There are clips that Michelle didn't think she was ready to watch. How do you feel as you watch that?
I feel like I went right back to where I started.
That's Wednesday.
Why have you been trying to control what I talk to him about?
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm trying to control what anyone talks about. I want him to be able to control, be here to talk about what he's here to talk about, and get help with what he needs to get help with, and what we.
He's doing steroids, along with cocaine and alcohol.
Who said that?
You said that.
I never said I was on steroids.
Did he or did he not tell you that?
Yes.
He did tell me that he's using steroids.
And both of us. And other people have told us as well.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
He's admitted to it. My parents
She has
know.
text messages where you're saying it.
My brother Jamie wants the family to keep a secret today, but I am not going to. The secret that my brother Jamie wants to keep hidden is that he's been using steroids for at least 5 years, maybe more. My parents have known for quite some time that he's taking steroids. Obviously, I suspected that Jamie's using steroids, just given his drastic changes in size, to his mood swings. But, I mean, my parents were the ones that definitely openly admitted to me that he was taking steroids.
My brother-in-law, Jamie, told me that he knows how to use steroids in a healthy way. I received numerous texts from Jamie about the health benefits. This one says, research steroids, Janet. When you combine them with narcotics, yes, it's an issue. Alone, steroids actually improve the quality of life in many ways. Taken responsibly, it can be a fountain of youth. I mean, it must have been 30 texts. He said that what I needed to do was do my research and that it was basically ignorance on my part. Jamie's already had health ramifications from the steroid use. Cysts formed from his steroid use, and that didn't stop him from continuing use. So that has me concerned.
I think as long as he's continuing to take steroids, I think the door will be open for him to take other drugs.
Do you really want to pretend that you haven't had a conversation with her about steroids?
That's not why I'm here.
Do you want to pretend you didn't have that conversation?
That's not why I'm here. I'll get up and leave right now.
Do whatever you want to do.
Sure. Take it easy.
Okay. Okay, here's the issue. Here's the issue. He's compounding his drug use with steroids. You know it.
I've worried.
No, you haven't worried. You know it.
I don't
you
know
didn't
what
worry.
drugs
No,
he's taking.
no, that's not true. You didn't worry about it. You know it. And you called our producer and said, she is upset that we ask her about steroids, and please don't put that in the show. So we then called her and said, you, Joey, said she was upset about this. Are you, in fact, upset about it? And she said, absolutely not. We're very comfortable about this.
You had told me when I saw you in the hotel that you were not comfortable with that line of questioning, that you were surprised that they asked you about that.
I said I was surprised they had asked me about the steroids, but I didn't say that I was uncomfortable. I didn't say that I was...
Yes, you did say that.
...upset. I didn't say that I didn't want to talk about them.
Look, are we going to pretend this isn't an issue because he doesn't want to talk about it?
If you are going to be in the Los Angeles area and you would like free tickets, go to drphil.com and click on Be in the Audience.
Or you can call 323-461-PHIL. Do you understand what the issues are with using cocaine, for example? Do you understand what the implications are from using cocaine? I made a list so we could take a look at the complications of using cocaine. When you use cocaine, there are a number of complications that arise when you use cocaine. You have increased blood pressure, headaches, restlessness, severe paranoia. You can have sudden death, strokes, hallucinations, heart attack. You can have increased body temperature, increased heart rate, anxiety, irritability. These are problems that you have, and notice one of these things is you can have a heart attack here. Okay, now let's talk about steroids. If you're taking steroids, then you can have a number of problems. You can have irritability and rage. You can have cysts. You can have manic-like symptoms. You can have aggression. You can have impaired judgment, high blood pressure, increased risk of stroke and heart attack. So you notice some of the symptoms here are some of the symptoms that you have with cocaine. Okay, now if you're doing cocaine and you're using steroids,
international. Girl, what's your name? I have to know. Ain't no one else in your lane. Let's fill this car with gas and go. No hesitation, I'm on it. If that's the way that you want it, that's cool with me, so let's ride. Let's go somewhere that you lie.
That's like playing Russian roulette, but you have 2 bullets in the chamber instead of 1. It just compounds the risk. And so is it just a risk factor, or does it potentiate? Well, have we had signs of aggression with him?
Yes.
Actually, we have.
Yes.
He's had conflicts where it's arisen in relationships and just out in the world. He's had it driving. He's had it in social situations.
Yes.
Has he had problems with cysts that have had to be dealt with? Yes. Has he wound up in the hospital? Yes. These are not just theories. These are potentialities here. And he says, I don't want to talk about it. And I'm sure he doesn't want to talk about it because he says, well, it can impact my occupation. Well, are you interested in his occupation or his life?
Life.
His life.
And so you're saying don't talk about this? You ought to be standing in the chair screaming about it. You ought to be demanding that I talk about this. And he gets up and marches his ass out of here. You ought to have him by the ear and dragging him out here and say, set your ass down. You've been lying to us for 10 years. You've been taking our money and buying drugs with him. You've been using our love for you against us and putting your life at risk. You've used us. You've abused us. You've lied to us. And we have bought it. And in so doing, we have put your life at risk. And we're done. We're through. We're not doing it anymore. You've been making his BMW payments. You've been paying his cell phone. You've been paying his insurance. You've been paying his rent. You've been giving him money. Why? So he can put it up his nose.
That's what it looks like. And if he has any sense at all, and if he's listening right now, he'll come back out here and deal with the problem.
Well, that's what we're here
and
for.
Move forward.
Well, right now, Jamie is backstage ranting about being lied to by our show. Let me tell you something. I don't make deals with guests, and I certainly don't make deals with drug addicts. Just like I told Brandon when I dealt with him in the first live intervention ever done on television, it appears to me that Jamie is the biggest liar in the room. Not somebody on this show. Well, we're out of time, but I am not finished with Jamie or his family yet. Will Jamie come back and face his addiction head on? Well, you're going to have to tune in tomorrow to find out. You will not want to miss it.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. Jamie returns.
Jamie, why are you back? Do you have something you want to say?
He denies.
I don't take steroids. Next question.
And denies.
Is that not what you said to her?
No idea what you're talking about. Next question.
Will this drug-addicted model...
You just need to be honest, man.
You're bringing up something that's not even a problem.
...ever admit the truth?
I'm here to talk about drugs and alcohol. So if you want to help me out with that, then let's do it.
Well, steroids are drugs.
Next question.
Do you think you're going to negotiate some deal with me to help you?
That's tomorrow.
For more information on today's show, go to drphil.com. Thanks for being here.